Hey, gun people! Man, this Olmos Park is just freaking crazy. So, this video is from Justin. Did I subscribe? It says subscribe, and I already liked it. Alright. See how you do that, people? You like it, turns blue, pretty color. I'm already subscribed. Anyway. So, this is a pretty interesting video. Olmos Park has been very anti-gun, and their police chief there is a super tyrant. I mean, he needs to be wearing a cape with a big S on it, because he is a super tyrant. I don't know why the mayor, I don't know why the city allows it, but man, and the Second Amendment guys already did a huge rally there and showed up in force, and this coward police chief hid like the coward he is, and he wouldn't come out. And now he does this. Outrageous. Texas Sheepdog.
Well, you're scared of your own shadow, so I don't want you to do that. Oh, you hurt me, you hurt me.
You'll know when I hurt you.
I'm sorry?
I said you'll know when I hurt you.
No.
Okay, so this is a cop with a gun, armed with a badge, telling a citizen, you'll know when I hurt you. That sounds an awful lot like a threat. Okay, I don't think it's enough to charge, but it's damn sure bullying and authoritarian and tyrant behavior. Man, this guy,
No, you'll know when you hurt me. Try to do me like CJ did, like you did CJ.
Notice he's got his defaced American flag on his uniform with a blue line. See, that's to get all the other tyrants to support him, because we wear the same uniform. We're all the brother blue. We all got a badge, gun. We got to protect each other. I showed you the video where the cops were testifying against the other cop, because when the cops get charged, this blue line don't mean nothing. So it sounds all good, but I'm telling you, this guy picture should be next to tyrant in the freaking dictionary.
I dare you. We're at, exactly.
Right over here, Marshall, get out of the way.
2 days later, Valenciano carried out his threat. They were there to get public information, communications between Chief Valenciano and Leon Valley's Joe Slavaggio.
I want to do a records request to see if there's any emails.
This guy obviously been police chief so long. He's so powerful and so tough, he gets to talk to people with his hands in his pocket. If you put your hands in your pocket at any police training that I was at, you were in big trouble, okay? That's just very poor officer safety, and it shows kind of, in this guy's mind, I think he's showing condescending, like, don't bother me, I really don't want to mess with you, pesky citizen.
Okay.
Do everything in writing.
Okay, I was going to ask you, maybe you can clarify that.
Put everything that you need in writing.
Okay.
Okay, so because they don't like anybody with a gun over there, unless you show up in force, then it's okay, because then they hide like cowards. But now, this guy's probably pissed off you made him leave his pack of donuts. All right, here we go.
Get away from me.
You can tell this aggressive resistive action here from Texas Sheepdog. You notice his aggressive behavior, trying to avoid contact. Notice how he's walking away, trying to disengage, being no threat to the officer, not reaching for his gun whatsoever. The officer immediately moves in and puts contact. Assaults, grabs, takes him to custody for what?
Get away from me.
Lawfully detained.
Get away from me.
Lawfully detained. Just because a cop says lawfully detained doesn't mean you're lawfully detained. Okay?
Back up.
Hey, we checked the parking lot and it's clear.
This is called a rear wrist takedown. He locked the wrist up. Common technique. Most cops are taught it. Very easy to knock somebody down, especially if they're not ready and they're being cooperative, because you get your hands set up. Much harder to do if a guy's fighting and swinging on you. But if you're a big tough bully who likes to pick on people because you got a badge and a gun, like Mr. Tyrant here, it's very easy to throw somebody to the ground like this.
I'm not resisting. You don't have to quit my...
Man, when I first saw this gun fall apart, I was like, what the hell kind of gun is this guy carrying? And then somebody said it's a BB gun. But watch this thing fall apart as he hits the ground from this wrist lock. Now, see, the guy's not resisting here. There's no reason to take him to the ground. He's not a no person. This cop just wants to hurt him.
And it's clear.
Ow! You see that tweaking? You can almost see it in slow motion. I want to go frame by frame here.
I believe you painting. Back up. Back up.
Hey, we checked the parking lot.
Okay, so he has hands here. Let's watch this torquing action from this cop. Tweak, 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 twist, 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 bend, 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 pain, 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 break, break, break. I'm going to put all my weight, leaning his weight forward, coming down with this extreme pressure. Look, I used to teach defensive tactics. This is a good technique to cause pain. This cop is doing the technique very well to cause pain. The problem is, he's doing it to somebody that's not resisting and not on arrest. He's talking about detaining somebody, and he's throwing them to the ground and creating pain. Why? So they will resist. Because pain causes involuntary reflex actions to try to stop the pain, and then cops can say, ooh, he resisted. Absolutely outrageous.
I'm not resisting. You don't have to twist my arm like that.
Notice it says stop resisting.
You don't have to twist my arm like that. And that's a They're on the call. Call EMS.
Tough guy. 2 cops, 1 guy not resisting. See how good government is? How strong, powerful, how their training, experience, and background, and why only they should have guns. Olmos Park, man, it's like the poster child of tyranny.
Call EMS. Call 911.
Y'all back up. Back up to the other bush.
So this guy with a camera is creating big distance to get away from these guys. See, and they don't want him being filmed, so what does he do? He starts pointing and threatening at other people. Unless you want this to happen, you better respect my authority. You better fear me, because you'll know when I hurt you. Remember what he said?
Over there. Back up to the other bush over there.
And here he goes. The violent person that he had to take to the ground with pain because he was resisting, he turns his back and walks away from him. Wow, he was really scared. Man.
Back up to the other bush. Back up to the other bush. Back up.
I'm moving. I can't go. I'm walking. I'm walking. Back up over here.
Back up by the bush.
Man, I'll tell you, the cops that work here must not be able to get a job anywhere else. I don't even know how they hold their head up working for this agency.
This is what happened 2 years ago.
Almost Park Police.
DJ Grisham, I'm with open records request, and I haven't heard from any. Okay. I mean, is there a, because we're almost up looking into that, or can I'm open carrying a.
I'm not even going to entertain that question, sir. That's not even a. I'm not even going to entertain that question, sir.
Come to Olmos Park, and I'm open carrying a handgun or a rifle. Am I going to be shot dead?
I'm not even going to entertain that question, sir. That's not even a reasonable question.
It is a reasonable question. If your officers are pulling guns on people who are open carrying, that's a very reasonable question. Am I going to be forced on my face if I open carry there? At gun?
This guy's follically challenged. He's got his gun way up by his face. Here, Mr. Olmos Park police training. First of all, there's a thing as a 1 donut limit. Second of all, if you hold your gun by your face when you fire it, the slide and sparks and explosion that comes out will end up causing you pain and pressure and you can't see. That's really good for the bad guy or the person that you're shooting at who happens to be a patriot because you're the bad guy. But whoever's training you idiots to hold your gun up here, well, you're an idiot.
Gunpoint?
I'm not even going to respond to that question.
Oh, I thought he had a pistol. My bus.
Sir, that's a very unreasonable question. Yeah.
Well, in light of what's actually happening, Chief, it's not unreasonable at all. I mean, I do plan to come there, and I'm afraid that you guys are going to threaten me and put me on my face at gunpoint for doing nothing more than exercising my rights. And you just said it's lawful in Texas. So why are officers unholstering guns when people do it?
I'm telling you, general policy. Texas is an open carry state, provided that you have a license to carry a handgun and you're not committing any criminal.
That's not true. If you don't need a license to carry a handgun with you, carry a long rifle.
Activity. you don't have anything to worry about.
Get on the ground or
Get on the ground.
We're not getting on the ground.
I'll tell you one more time to get on the ground. I'm not going to tell you again. If you have a license,
So this is the same chief. He's got a bunch of incompetent officers, so he has to always be out there doing everything. So he wants to go out there and get hands-on, be tough guy.
if you have a license to carry a handgun,
He doesn't need a license to carry a
Get
back.
back.
Get back. Get away from him. You're interfering with the duties right now.
You have no duty to this. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
This guy couldn't chase a freaking two-legged dog with one leg broken in a cast. How the hell is he going to catch anybody? This guy's got the speed of my grandma in her wheelchair when her wheel fell off. What the hell? Can you believe this guy's a cop? Watch his blinding speed. Woo! I need to slow that down because that was some blinding. Look at that step. Woo! He's fast. Why do I want to play the Oopa Loopa song right now? Uh-oh. So he's so afraid of this guy that he had his taser pointed on because he's a threat that he turns his back and he shoots this guy in the back. Man, Olmos Park, I'm telling you, man.
get back. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Do you see a cop throw his camera? Total disregard, disrespect for a citizen. Watch him take this camera that he knows he doesn't have to pay for, and he gets to destroy someone's property. Watch him throw it. Rips it and throws it.
Chief, you and I spoke. You and I spoke on the phone, Chief.
That's right.
So here's some pictures of when after they did this incident, when the Second Amendment guys showed up.
A large open carry march with hundreds of participants, over 1,000 petitions, and multiple lawsuits have failed to solve these problems.
So when the armed citizens show up to stop tyranny, guess what? Tyranny hides. Police department never came out. They hid like the cowards they are.
And the abuse. Texas Republicans have enabled police brutality and an out-of-control criminal justice system like what we've seen in Olmos Park in Bexar County. Bad cops are empowered, and there is no true accountability. They can lawfully hide almost all of their activities, reports, and videos. That's why they hate our cameras so much. Not only do our cameras not lie, but they allow us to publish the real news.
See, here's a police department. Notice that big, tough police chief that's always out there with the taser, pointing and saying he's going to hurt somebody? Do you notice that he's not out here? Man, I'm telling you, man, tar and feathering. I don't know what needs to happen, and I got to agree. Our legislator ought to be passing laws that if you harass, strike, contact, or abuse any open carry person who's lawfully carrying, you are civilly liable and you lose your immunity. That's very easy to pass. The law could be changed, and we got Republicans because they're scared of the freaking liberals in Austin that won't pass freaking laws, and they keep saying, oh, vote Republican, we'll protect your rights. They ain't protecting our rights. And I'm getting pissed off at freaking Republicans in Texas who are basically closet freaking Democrats. Outrageous. Anyway, there's some contact in here for Sheepdog. Here's some contact numbers. I thought he had a, you can pause it.
Renee Valenciano.
So here's the charging sheet where they got Sheepdog with his assault on an officer. Really? That guy had his arm twisted and thrown face down, and he assaulted the officer. Obstruction of a roadway. Really? He obstructed a roadway? He was trying to get away from the brutal cop. Disorderly conduct. Resisting arrest and search. These are all standard, non-accountable things that the DA normally dismisses, and when they know they're going to get sued or when they know they really screwed up, then they go ahead and try to get you to plea. This is absolutely outrageous. So here's the information on Sheepdog. If you guys want to help him out, I guess he's got a GoFundMe. Here's a petition. Here's a link to the video. And again, this is all on Justin's page. Now, why is it not subscribed? Freaking YouTube unsubscribed me. Look at this. Little pieces of shit. YouTube, commie tube, mother. Anyway, I digress. All right. Well, in that there on Texas Sheepdog. Olmos Park needs a good... Man, they're about 5 hours away. I looked them up on the map. But the last time they did a good Second Amendment rally there, it put them in check. I'm thinking if maybe 20 guys can go there for like a week, you know, set up days and have 20 guys show up one day, 20 guys show up the next day, 20 guys show up the next day, and make the police department hide for a freaking week. This is outrageous. All right, we'll end that there.